If I asked you which country shares the longest border with France, you'd probably say Spain, but what if I told you it's not even a country in Europe? It's actually an overseas region of France in South America called French Guiana, which means France actually shares the longest border with Brazil. This is because of European colonization in the region. At the start of the 1500s, the Spanish explored Guyana's coast and settled there around 3 years later. But after the Treaty of Breda, which was an agreement to end the Second Anglo-Dutch War after the Dutch's victory, it was taken from the Spanish and given to French, who had supported the Dutch. It's also worth mentioning that word was spreading there was gold in Guyana, so France really needed to protect it. Guyana was originally developed by the French as a slave society, where planters imported Africans as enslaved laborers on large sugar and other plantations until the French Revolution, which caused the abolition of French slave trade. After the Louisiana Purchase, when the United States bought a large amount of land from the French for $15 million, in 1804, the French began developing Guyana as a penal colony. This means they'd exile prisoners to Guyana. But in 1809, during the Napoleonic Wars, there was a Portuguese military operation to use a Portuguese-British naval squadron to take Guyana for the Portuguese Empire. This was extremely bad for France. Fortunately, it was returned in 1814 after the signing of the Treaty of Paris. However, there was some border dispute with Brazil in the 19th century over a vast area of jungle, which was later resolved by the Swiss government. Since 1946, French Guiana has been fully integrated into the French Republic and as a part of the European Union. This is due to the fact that after the penal system was exposed for its horrific conditions, lots of French prisoners were released in Guyana, and so the population became dominated by these prisoners. This meant the most common language was French and the French school system was adopted. And also, being a part of France boosted Guyana's economy. This is partly due to the European Space Agency, or ESA, which had a space center built there due to the low population and proximity to the equator, as rockets require less fuel when launched from the equator because the Earth is a sphere and bulges nearer the equator, meaning it's more effective to launch rockets there. This one space center has provided both jobs and tourism in the area. However, if French Guiana was ever to become independent, it would massively impact the plans for space travel. Although, this is unlikely because Guyana receives financial aid, social security and welfare treatment from France. Yet, the Space Center is France's only reason for holding on to French Guiana. There are lots of unexploited natural resources like gold. Today, France and French Guiana have a strong relationship, and recently referendums have proved this, with 70% wanting more integration with France.